Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the swamp. We have two young alligator snapping turtles, hatchlings, and they are buried in the sand doing what's called luring. And they're trying to catch their natural prey by using a fake worm that's in their mouth to fool the fish to come swim into their mouths so they can clamp down on the fish and eat it. Now, they're very smart turtles. They know how to ambush. They're ambush predators. This one, both of them, but this one's buried in the sand, and look in its mouth. It's got its mouth open in the sand. See that white spot in its mouth right under its jaw, or on top of its jaw? That white spot is the color of its tongue. And that darker worm-looking appendage is called a vermiform, and it is a fake worm that it uses as a lure to fool fish to swim in there so it can bite them, chomp down on them, eat them. That's how it catches its prey, with a lure. Beautiful eyes. You got the glare of my camera. Kind of messing up the footage a little bit, but there we go, a little better. So, look how its eyes have like flower petals is what they look like around the eyes, look like eyelashes. And then in the mouth, you've got the vermiform, which is a fake tongue, or a fake worm appendage on its tongue. See how it's flickering? That vermiform, it's trying to lure in a fish. It's perfectly camouflaged. It uses its environment to camouflage. It even puts sand in its mouth to make it look like the bottom of the pond or swamp, river, wherever they're hiding. And so a fish will come along, see that tiny worm, and go for it and try to eat it. Think it's a mosquito larva in this case. This is a very young alligator snapping turtle, so it's very small. As it grows, the worm on its tongue will grow and it'll lure in bigger fish, but right now it's so small that that tongue worm looks just like a mosquito larva, which is what the fish it's hunting eat. They are called the Gambusia. Gambusia is the scientific name for the mosquito fish. The mosquito fish mosquito fish eats mosquito larvae, the larval stage of the mosquito. But yeah, he's just hiding under the water. And this other one, he came up out of the sand. He's right there, just breathing, taking in air. See his nostrils are just above the surface of the water. He's breathing. And once he fills his lungs with air, or feels like it, he'll go back down and bury himself in the sand again and start hunting for fish. We got another one over here. It's coming up out of the sand to get air. See how they've got those two nostrils on the very tip of their nose? It's like a snorkel. He's about to pierce the surface of the water there. Right then he just did it. And so he's breathing in air, and then he'll go back underwater and hunt. So let's go back to this original one that we were looking at that's hunting by using its vermiform mouth lure, tongue lure. That is a really good view of the vermiform tongue lure. The white surface is really just, it's like skin, the skin on the tongue, the surface of the tongue, and then it creates a great contrast. It's very similar. It looks like a rock, like one of these little white rocks. You can see up in the upper left-hand corner, there's a rock in the screen. It looks like a rock, and it provides contrast for the darker red-colored worm. The worms come in different colors. The vermiform is on the tongues of the alligator snapping turtles, and that one looks to be pinkish red, but some of them are, other colors. But the important thing is that there's contrast so that it stands out on the bottom of the the river or wherever he's hiding. And so it'll catch the attention of the fish. And so they just sit here like this all day, all night, as long as they're hungry, until they catch enough fish to have their fill. And they really don't need a lot. These turtles have a slow metabolism, and they don't need to eat nearly as much as people think. They just don't eat that much. And so when they're hungry, this is what they do, and this is how they make a living, really. This is how they survive. It's just by using that little fake worm that God gave them on their tongue. And they don't move any parts of their bodies. And then even their eye looks kind of, see how the eye has all these beautiful colors? It's really a camouflage eye that it can use to see what it needs to see, move to a minimal amount, and the eye is camouflage, and it keeps the rest of its body camouflaged and partially buried, sometimes fully buried under the sand. And it just lays there on the bottom, hunting, luring for hours and hours. I'd love to see a fish come up and take a bite right now, but it doesn't look like the fish are in, not many of them are in the area right now. And so, but you never know, one might show up, or several might show up and show interest. And the moment one takes a bite of that little fake worm, that's when the turtle clamps down on it. Pretty awesome camouflage technique, in my opinion. But since I don't see any fish showing interest in the worm at the moment, I'm going to end the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Till next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.